Good morning, Patrick here again from Complete Health in Eastbourne, and I just wanted to go through what chiropractors really do, or what chiropractors are really focusing on, why chiropractors should really be focusing on this one thing. Now, when we look at a person or a body, what is it that chiropractors are actually doing when they change or adjust your spine? And most people, or the common beliefs are that we are just moving bones back into place. And to an extent that is somewhat true, but not necessarily in the sense that people think it's true. When you look at an adjustment starts to move and change the way the spine works. Now, if we actually think about what is our spine, then we can really start to answer the question of why would a chiropractor adjust it? Now, the spine is a big sensory and motor pathway. So essentially what that means, if we break that down to the simplest language, it is a pathway for all of the information coming into the brain. It's also a pathway for all of the information coming out of the brain. So motor means to start to move your muscles, and sensory means to feel what's going on. So where we have information going in, that's the sensory pathway, and then we have the information coming out to our muscles and our organs. It's almost, we call it motor and autonomic, but these are the two parts of the brain that we really need to obviously understand. Information going in and information going out. Now, if the spine is not functioning properly, information can neither come in or out of the brain correctly. So when the spine stops moving, certain sensory pathways start to change. Now, there are a few reasons why sensory pathways will actually start to change, and same again with motor pathways, the information coming out. Now, if a joint is not moving properly, how easy do you think it's going to be for a muscle to work and actually change the way that that joint functions? Because if a joint is stuck, the muscle cannot move that joint. It's as simple as that. Now, when people start losing certain movements in certain joints, what will occur is that information coming into the brain will change, and the brain has to make adaptation processes. So it will make compensation patterns. And this is where we start to see changes in people's posture. But this is also where we start to see injuries start to occur, because certain muscles will become weak, certain joints will start to degenerate, and certain nerves will stop functioning properly. And as a result, that's when we start to see people hurt. Now, this is just the start of the problem. As we ignore it and leave it for years, this will start to progress further and further and further. So when we adjust the spine, we're essentially improving the way that the brain can sense what's going on in the body, which makes it much easier to understand how to move, adapt, work, get the organs working, get the muscles working, keep the nerves firing, if that spine is actually functioning correctly. Now, there are three factors, and you'll hear me talk about this a lot, that will affect the way that nerves and the brain actually start to work. And almost all of you will have tried all three. Physical changes to our body. Most of us will have fallen down the stairs, turned our ankles over, had a bump or bruise during a rugby game or a car crash or something of similar. Now, these are all examples of traumatic incidents, but other people may have had other instances that would affect their spine physically by something like sitting in a desk or doing what I'm doing now and looking at a mobile phone. Yes, these all count as physical damages to our body. Now, there are other types which are chemical and emotional, which is the food that we eat and the thoughts that we think. Now, if you think about it, all of these can affect the way that our nerves work. E.g., if you get stressed, what happens to your heart rate? Now, that is a signal from your brain telling your heart to increase the heart rate. Same again, if we drink something like alcohol, what happens to the nerves that control your balance. They change. So these three things, physical, chemical, and emotional stresses, will build up, change the way our spine works, and as a result, will change the output or outcome of what's going on. So if the spine is not moving, the sensors coming in do not work. If the brain is not working, the information coming out does not work. So this is why chiropractors always focus on the spine. But if we are getting the spine working properly, and there is still something that's stopping the injury from recovering, this is something that's actually occurring in one of those three areas, physical, chemical, or emotional stress, that has not been cleared up, which is allowing the injury to continue to manifest. Hopefully this information is helpful to someone. If you know someone that will actually benefit from this information, please share it on. We love helping people to learn a little bit more about their body, why their body works, and really just helping the community actually just to be a healthier, better version of themselves, especially with everything that's currently going on now. We want people to be empowered to take control of their health rather than feel like someone else has to have control of their health, which is essentially what's happening with this track and trace situation at the moment. People are not empowered to be taking healthier lifestyle choices. In fact, many of us are actually being put down and told that we cannot control our health. So take ownership of your health, because the only person that can actually influence your health is yourself. Till tomorrow, take care.